Labor welfare and labor legislation. Labor welfare. Labor welfare refers to various services, facilities, and amenities provided to workers for improving their working conditions, living standards, and overall well-being, beyond wages and statutory benefits. It is an essential component of industrial relations and social work practice. According to ILO, International Labor Organization. The International Labor Organization, ILO, defines labor welfare as such services, facilities and amenities which may be established in or in the vicinity of undertakings to enable the persons employed in them to perform their work in healthy, congenial surroundings and to provide them with amenities conducive to good health and high morale. The ILO promotes labor welfare as a human right, and views it as essential for social justice, decent work, and industrial peace. B. Concept of labor welfare. Labor welfare activities can be broadly classified into two categories. 1. Intramural welfare. These are within the workplace and directly related to working conditions. Canteens. Restrooms. Drinking water. Washrooms. First aid facilities. Creches. Safety measures. 2. Extramural welfare. These are outside the workplace, supporting workers' family and social life. Housing. Education for children. Recreation facilities. Community centers. Transport services. Vocational training. C. Types of labor welfare. 1. Commodity concept. Welfare is seen as material goods and services provided to workers. Focus on tangible benefits like housing, medical aid, etc. 2. Machinery concept. Welfare is delivered through institutional mechanisms such as labor welfare boards, committees, trade unions. 3. Charity concept. Welfare is a voluntary act of kindness or benevolence by employers. No legal obligation, based on philanthropic goodwill. 4. Paternalistic concept. Welfare is seen as the employer's duty as a father figure. Assumes workers are dependent and need to be looked after. 5. Natural resource concept. Workers are seen as a human resource needing proper care to remain productive. Welfare enhances the value and productivity of labor. 6. Social welfare concept. Welfare is a right of workers and a social responsibility. Society and the state must ensure the well-being of all laborers for social justice. D. Objectives of labor welfare. To improve working and living conditions of workers. To promote industrial harmony and productivity. To boost morale, motivation, and efficiency. To reduce labor unrest and enhance job satisfaction. To support the social development of workers and their families. To ensure human dignity and rights at work. E. Principles of labor welfare. 1. Social responsibility. Employers and the state have a moral obligation to care for workers' welfare. 2. Democratic value. Workers should participate in decision-making about their welfare. 3. Adequacy of wages. Welfare should supplement fair wages, not replace them. 4. Efficiency. Welfare measures must aim at improving productivity and discipline. 5. Corresponsibility. Employers, government, and trade unions share the responsibility for welfare. 6. Totality welfare. Welfare should consider the holistic well-being, physical, mental, social, and emotional. 7. Repersonalization. Emphasizes humanizing work and restoring the dignity of the individual in industrial settings. F. Theories of labor welfare, explained. 1. Police theory. This theory holds that labor welfare is enforced by the state through laws and regulations. The purpose is to prevent exploitation, ensure minimum standards, and protect workers' rights. It is coercive in nature, meaning welfare is not given voluntarily but compelled by legislation. Example, laws on minimum wages, safety norms, maternity benefits, etc. 2. Religious theory. This theory is based on the idea that providing welfare is a moral and spiritual obligation. Rooted in religious values such as compassion, charity, and service to humanity. The employer provides welfare to attain moral satisfaction or spiritual merit. Found in traditions like Hindu Dharma, Christian charity, and Islamic zakat. 3. Placating theory. According to this theory, employers provide welfare to pacify workers. Welfare is a strategy to avoid strikes, unrest, and dissatisfaction. It is reactive and tactical, not necessarily aimed at genuine well-being. Example, introducing welfare measures after labor protests. 4. Public relations theory. Labor welfare is viewed as a tool for building goodwill and reputation. Employers provide facilities to improve their public image among customers, investors, and society. Focus is on external image, not always on workers' needs. Example, corporate social responsibility, CSR, projects. 5. Philanthropic theory. Welfare is seen as an act of voluntary generosity or kindness by the employer. It is not legally required, and the employer may do it out of personal values or a sense of giving back. It lacks consistency and may depend on the employer's discretion or mood. 6. Trusteeship theory/paternalistic theory. Rooted in Gandhian philosophy, where the employer is a trustee, not the owner of wealth. He must use profits and resources responsibly for the well-being of workers. Views workers as dependent members, and the employer as a father figure who cares for them. Focus is on moral responsibility and social justice. G. Constitutional status of labor in India. The Constitution of India provides a strong framework for labor welfare through fundamental rights, directive principles of state policy, and schedules. 1. Fundamental Rights, Part 3. Article 14, Equality before law. Article 16, Equality of opportunity in public employment. Article 19, 1, see right to form associations or unions. Article 21, right to life includes right to livelihood, health, and safe working conditions. Article 23, prohibition of forced labor. Article 24, prohibition of child labor below the age of 14 in hazardous employment. 2. Directive Principles of State Policy, Part 4. These are guiding principles to ensure social and economic justice. Article 38, promote welfare of the people and reduce inequalities. Article 39, equal pay for equal work, protection against exploitation. Article 41, right to work, education, and public assistance. Article 42, just and humane conditions of work and maternity relief. Article 43, living wage, decent standard of life, and social and cultural opportunities for workers. Article 43A, participation of workers in management of industries. 3. Labor in the Constitution's schedule. Labor is a subject in the concurrent list, 7th schedule, meaning both center and states can make laws on labor matters. This includes laws on industrial disputes, trade unions, working conditions, factories, and employment. Labor legislation. Labor legislation refers to the body of laws, regulations, and legal provisions designed to govern the relationship between employers, workers, and the government. These laws aim to ensure fair wages, safe working conditions, social security, and industrial peace. Labor laws are a key component of social justice and are crucial for protecting the rights and interests of workers. Principles of labor legislation. Labor legislation is based on the following key principles. Social justice. Ensures fair treatment of workers, protects against exploitation, and promotes human dignity. Seeks to balance the interests of labor and capital. Social equality. Aims to eliminate discrimination in employment and wages. Promotes equal opportunities and affirmative actions for marginalized groups. National economy. Supports industrial harmony and productivity, contributing to national economic development. Encourages regulated labor markets to attract investment. International conventions. Aligns domestic laws with global labor standards set by organizations like the International Labor Organization, ILO. Promotes decent work and upholds international human rights standards in the workplace. Types of labor legislations. Labor legislations in India can be broadly classified into 2 categories. 1. Regulative legislations. These laws regulate the relationship between employers, employees, and trade unions, ensuring orderly industrial relations. A Trade Unions Act, 1926. Provides for the registration and protection of trade unions. Grants legal status and rights to unions. B. Industrial Disputes Act, 1947. Provides machinery for the investigation and settlement of industrial disputes. Emphasizes conciliation, arbitration, and adjudication. C. Industrial Employment, Standing Orders, Act, 1946. Requires employers to define conditions of employment through certified standing orders. Promotes transparency and discipline in industrial establishments. 2. Protective legislations. These laws aim to protect workers from exploitation and ensure safe and humane working conditions. A. Factories Act, 1948. Regulates health, safety, working hours, and welfare of factory workers. B. A Mines Act, 1952. Provides for the safety and welfare of mine workers. C. A Plantations Labor Act, 1951. Ensures better living and working conditions for plantation workers. D. A Motor Transport Workers Act, 1961. Regulates working hours, rest periods, and welfare of motor transport workers. E. Shops and Establishments Act. Varies by state, governs working hours, holidays, and conditions of workers in shops and commercial establishments. F. Beedi and Cigar Workers, Conditions of Employment, Act, 1966. Provides for the health, safety, and welfare of workers engaged in the beedi and cigar manufacturing industry. Importance of labor legislations. Labor legislations play a vital role in the socio-economic structure of a country. Protection of workers' rights. Ensures fair wages, job security, and humane working conditions. Promotion of industrial peace. Reduces conflicts through proper dispute resolution mechanisms. Regulation of labor markets. Prevents exploitation and promotes healthy employer-employee relations. Support for vulnerable groups. Safeguards women, children, and differently abled persons through special provisions. Contribution to national development. Enhances productivity and economic growth by ensuring a motivated and healthy workforce. Implementation of social welfare. Forms a legal framework for welfare schemes like maternity benefits, employee insurance, and provident fund. Alignment with global standards. Helps India meet international obligations and improve global competitiveness.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in next video.